All right. Well, welcome to the show, Katerina. Is that how I should say Katerina? Is that your name?
Yes, Katerina.
Not Kat, not
Katerina. You can
Katerina,
say it in French.
with a bit more R.
R.
Excellent. Excellent. Well, welcome to the show. We've been trying to get you on for a little while. We're so excited to have you.
Thank you.
So yeah, we're excited to get to learn a little bit about you. So you're in Calgary. We'll call you an entrepreneur. And a bunch of stuff. And I think one of the cool things about you, which is I think people would be interested in, is this wide range of things that you do and that you're involved in. So one of them is, and maybe we'll start here, maybe we'll talk about this and then we'll end with it. But you have a business, Local Eats, and we can cover that. But additionally, you're into horses. You've been around horses for a long time, it sounds like, and you're into maybe coaching and women's health, which is super interesting. And people love that stuff, of course, right? So yeah. So when someone comes up to you and says, "Okay, who are you? What do you do? What do you say? Like, how do you even approach that?"
Oh, it's a very interesting question, and I'm still looking for the answer because, like you said, my whole life I had so many interests in life and in everything that other people do, and sometimes I'm thinking, what would I be like if I would have to pick something one?
Mm-hmm.
And 41 years, I don't have an answer still.
Yeah.
So I'm entrepreneur. I'm first-time entrepreneur, actually, since last year. My business partner and myself, we opened a company, and we'll talk about this later.
Yeah.
I do... not a coaching woman, but I would say advising them and helping them when they're reaching out to me and asking for some advice about their careers or about business they want to build. More of that, I get requests about support, guide. I do lots of networking. Women who would like to build their business or grow their career or make more friends, they would reach out to me too, and we would discuss the way how they could do that. So I'm volunteering as well. I love volunteering, and it's also related to horses. I could give back to the community. I'm a horseback rider instructor in English riding.
Yeah.
But here it's all Western, so I'm learning Western now.
So have you always ridden horses? Is that like from being little?
I started when I was 18, but I quit. I had university, I had life, but I always loved horses. Since I remember myself, I think my first word would be horses, not mom. Sorry, mom.
Yeah.
So I love horses. I think I just was born with that love.
Yeah.
And but I started riding in my 20s, or late 20s. I would go professionally more. I would be horseback riding guide actually too. So taking people to the trails and fields and forests, and we would ride there, and I love that. I used to ride like 6 hours a day.
Wow.
We had 6 days solid work and 1 day off.
Wow.
So when
Where was that? Where did you do that?
Well, in Siberia, in Russia.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah. So there we, and it's a bit challenging because in winter I used to ride below minus 29. We didn't go usually below minus 30.
Yeah.
But minus 29, minus 28.
Wow.
In pure storm or deep snow. Yeah, I'm a toughy one.
Yeah. Wow. And did you ever do trail riding here?
Yes, I did, but not as a guide. I would love to go back. Yeah. Actually, and maybe I should. Beside my company, maybe I should do a horseback riding guide.
Yeah, I think it just maybe. But my experience has been that it's that club of people that own horseback riding guide services. They tend to already have the land. they're usually close to something else, and then people just go and do trail rides. But there's a few outfitter type trail rides that they're pretty fun. They could, be interesting.
It's a great way to keep yourself, well, of course, in shape physically, but also it gives you a lot of like emotional support, mental support when you're involved with such animals like horses. They all animals give you that, but horses, it's something different when you're riding a huge animal that can actually kill you, but they have no idea they can.
Yeah.
That's why they don't.
Yeah.
It's interesting. And then when I moved to Canada, I was looking on how to be involved in horses here as well, beside all other jobs I did here.
Yeah.
I was leasing horses here. I was volunteering. And now for the past year, I volunteer for charity organization, therapeutic horseback riding.
Oh, cool.
Lessons we provide for kids with mental and physical disabilities.
Wow.
And now somehow it happened. I just came to volunteer, and now I'm obtaining my certificate as a therapeutic horseback riding instructor as well.
Yeah.
So
the kids must be like super excited when they get to do that.
You know, some kids unfortunately don't realize where they are. Even there are some conditions like that. But we treat them, and our lessons are, you know, they're very meaningful for them. Anyway, we make it the best time for them. Yeah. It doesn't matter if they realize that or not, if they can move, if they can talk or not. Some of them cannot talk. Some of them cannot really walk.
Wow.
So I did volunteer in Russia before with kids with disabilities, and I was helping mothers with 5 kids with and some of them had disabilities as well. So I was pretty happy to find something here where I could combine all of it, and horses and kids.
Does the horse know? Like, do you think, does the horse know? And here's why I asked the question. There's some videos I think it's on YouTube, and they show, I think it's probably one of the palace guards in England or London, where the royalty would be, and they have the guards on horses, and they'll show someone who's just like a run-of-the-mill tourist comes up, tries to pet the horse loses it and will kind of headbutt them out of the way, and then someone comes up who's clearly has an issue, some kind of handicap or something, and then the horse is the most docile, just totally night and day difference. Do you think the horses notice? Can they tell?
I know they do.
Yeah? I
know. And actually, I have a funny story because when I was a guide, not here in my country, and I had a group of people. It was 12 people.
Yeah.
They walk in line, and I had one guide ahead, one guide sometimes was at the back. If it's only pure beginners, they saw horses before just in books or movies.
Right. Yeah.
And I usually would ride beside them, teaching them in 1 hour how not to fall from a horse.
Yeah.
Well, how to ride basically. And we always had horses. His name was Falcon. Mm-hmm. It's a huge draft horse, very experienced, kind, like a couch. You can ride him.
Yeah.
But he had one thing. He would feel always who is not confident rider. And then he would, I don't know even how, he would always try to find the moment in the field where he would kind of, just chill, walk. And we always would walk with beginners, of course. And he would just, in the middle of nowhere, he would put his head down so fast, so the rider on the back would just very nicely, slowly, I don't even know, almost like melted cheese would fall off from him, right from his head. Nobody would ever break something. It was so soft. He would get rid of the riders.
And just slide right down his neck.
Just like this.
Wow.
Because he felt like people would not to pay attention. And he would always turn away and go home.
No way.
Even if we're in the forest, we're in the field, I'm like, no. And I had to figure it out. I would catch him wherever I would beg him to come back, I would do something so just to save the situation. And I did, of course, because that's my job.
Yeah.
But he would do that. So, but I checked. So if I would be riding him or any other experienced rider, he tried, but we never fought. Like we like pull back and, you know, you talk to them the way they understand. Never again. So they do feel. If talk about kids, I deal with this a lot now. Of course, we check horses. Of course, it has to be horse with very good mental health itself, first of all. Experience, not very young. So it's horse that been there, done that, kind of thing. Lots of horses we have from ranchers. We have to kind of retrain them because they're a little bit, you know, want to have fun. But so we work with them before, and our kids 100% safe there, for sure. And we always have volunteers with them, so they're not alone on the horse. There is a leader and usually 2 side walkers on each side.
That's very cool.
And we have trainer that, she's amazing. The safety, all safety procedures like on top. Like she trains us like German shepherds too. We ourselves were trained for safety.
So where is it? What's the company, or where would someone go to find that business, or where you're volunteering?
It's a company, charity organization. It's 413 Therapeutic Center.
Okay.
Yes, we'll actually we'll be looking for more volunteers. We always do. So if somebody interested, they can reach out to me on social media or email me. We can leave information. So we will be looking. So we usually, so our next session starts in spring. So it's one part of my big life.
Okay. So this is kind of a weird sidetrack thought, because you mentioned just, you know, that how animals know what's going on. And there's a book, I don't know if you read this kind of book because it's kind of geeky, but there's a book called Guns, Germs, and Steel. And they talk about what takes a society from being a hunter-gatherer society to being a society that could potentially cross a border and attack another society, and a long story. But one of the interesting things is that some animals are not domesticatable. And so a cow, for instance, is domesticatable. A horse is domesticatable. But a rhinoceros is not. And so where it kind of like goes logically is, can you imagine if a rhinoceros was domesticatable to the point where you could ride it into battle? Where you'd have, you know, you could have had, the Europeans could have had horses. And they, you know, a couple thousand possibly pounds of animal, but then some guy shows up on a rhinoceros that weighs 5,000 pounds. What a huge difference. But you can't domesticate buffalo. Isn't that weird? They're always going to be a wild animal. You can pen them, but you can't domesticate buffalo. It's kind of weird.
So all pictures with riding buffalo are fake.
Well, it would be, you could tame a buffalo, but you can't domesticate a buffalo. There's a subtle difference between the two. But
when you said this story, I was thinking, in my mind, you know, I'm like, it's interesting. Could I domesticate a dinosaur?
Well, some of them, yes. Some genetically would have had that gene that would have allowed you to domesticate.
You know, I just know myself. I'm like, it's just so many thoughts when you were talking. I'm like, yes, if I would leave that time, I probably would be one of those who would ride them. Me on dinosaur, for sure. Therapeutic dinosaur. Perfect mental health.
Probably not the predator dinosaurs. It's going to be the big fluffy ones.
But horses too. I mean, first time when I moved here, first time I saw wild horses in their environment. It's a special moment actually. I took, I don't know, zillion pictures. It's a Sandry area I saw them north of Calgary. And talking about team, I'm like, I look at them, they're different. They built different way to survive in the wild nature and in the mountains, right? And I was like so not like paralyzed by their beauty, and not even beauty. I could feel their power from like far away, and their stallion that the main guy.
Yeah.
Oh my God. You don't want to be on his way. No. They're not predators, but they are dangerous. They can be, especially the wild one.
Yeah.
And I'm like, can you really tame them? And at the same time, I was thinking, why would I want to do that?
Yeah. Were they really hairy? Or did they have long hair?
Actually,
Yeah,
even our
interesting.
horses' hair. So it depends if they're outside or inside, or they're blanketed or not.
Okay.
So there's lots of things. So horses who owners put blankets on, they don't have much
Really?
hair
I
because
didn't know that.
yeah, because they're warm enough.
Yeah.
But horses that fully they live in outside all winter. They have to have it,
Yeah.
and they look
Oh,
like
that's
a little bit
interesting.
like wild horses. Too.
Yeah. Wow, that's interesting. So how many horses were in the herd that you saw?
Like me.
Yeah, when you saw them in Sundre.
Oh, there was, I don't even remember, it was a while ago, like a few years ago, but it wasn't too many, but I saw that truck from their hoof. It's like the huge.
Really? Oh,
it's
okay.
huge.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't want to meet those guys. They will kill me. They would think I will want to steal his mares there. So
Wow.
yeah, no, it was, I don't know, maybe like 15 for sure. And there
Yeah.
was some smaller. They're cute. Yeah,
That's
no,
very
but
neat, eh?
as much as I love horses, I didn't risk. I realized that you do not bother them first of all, and I know they cannot talk.
Yeah.
I mean, not like moose maybe, but
Yeah. Have you seen a moose?
I did.
Yeah?
I did lots of wildlife here. Actually, it's funny because many people have stereotyped that in Siberia we have bears walking on the streets everywhere.
We do.
But we don't. I never saw a wild bear in Siberia, to be honest, as much. There I didn't see at all.
Yeah.
Here I saw a lot of bears. And
Yeah.
I hike. I used to hike a lot.
Yeah.
And I saw many bears.
Is that right? Down like Waterton, or where were you hiking?
I was, even in BC,
Yeah.
usually Kananaskis. Kananaskis, it's where I go. So yeah, there is like, they love very like upper Kananaskis Lake and all that stuff.
Yeah. Bears make me very uncomfortable. It's like, fully admit it, I have no interest in bears. Don't
No,
like
I mean,
them.
it's interesting to see them, but like I said, I would like to see them from far away.
Yeah.
I don't want to share a trail with them.
Yeah. They can be, for the most part, bears, as soon as they see humans, they skedaddle. Like, they don't hang around. But if they do, then you got a problem. Because they know where they are in the food chain, and you're below them. So they're very comfortable in their skin, and they usually don't want to have anything to do with people. But
Not anymore. I noticed that they come in more and more. And I talked to one of my friends. She's a hiker too, and she was like, "It's after COVID." I think she's kind of right, because when COVID came, like, everything was restricted. Not many people would be out, and animals start to come closer. Because it finally was empty.
yeah,
Not busy, less hikers, no tourists, and they started to grow their territory, like bears especially, right?
Yeah,
so they start to
bears-
come more.
yeah.
And then we come back after COVID and
Right.
restriction was lifted, so we came back. And bears like, oh, you're here again. But they're used to that territory.
Yeah.
And of course, they don't want to give it back to us.
no. You know what a bear's predator, or like the predator for a bear, you know what they are? There's humans, but there's also trains and cars. And that's where a lot of
Yes.
bears die, is like they get hit because they hang around railway tracks a lot. So,
Yeah, and those bridges they built don't have much looks
yeah.
like.
Yeah, bears, they're really interesting. And the just side point again is bears, it used to be people hunted bears more in Alberta. There's not as much hunting of bears anymore, because people they're not hunting as much now. And bear meat's not something that people really want. And plus, there's a lot of people that kind of oppose bear hunts. And so people who would normally bear hunt, they've kind of been pushed away from bear hunting. So that drives the numbers up, because now we don't have a lot of predators. And then a bear, they have they can survive in a lot of places where other animals can't. And it's because they can go into a garbage can and get supper, right? Whereas a lot of animals can't do that. And so a bear's habitat just expands into whatever area that there's available food. So they're an interesting animal, but Alberta doesn't have anywhere near the bears that BC has. Or if you go to Alaska, if you look at, this is crazy, like off camera, we'll do a Google search on how many bears are in Alaska, grizzly bears. It's mind-boggling. Like it's in the tens of thousands of bears. Whereas Alberta's, I think I've seen reports over the years of grizzly bears in Alberta, and it's like somewhere between 500 and maybe 2,000 at the extreme. And the reality is, why would a grizzly bear be in Alberta? There's no salmon, there's no like it's harder to get food here. So they really exist better in the BC, Alaska environments. So
Fair enough. I saw here lots of grizzly bears.
yeah, there's a lot in Waterton. And
I even saw white.
did you really?
Yeah.
You saw? Yeah.
I had one once. I
Yeah.
couldn't believe my eyes. It
Yeah.
was something I never could imagine I
Yeah.
would see. I saw huge mama bear, grizzly, and 3 cubs, and one of 3 was white.
Yeah, there's some. Those are called phase transitional bears, and so they. It's not. There's albino bears occasionally too, but super rare. But a phase transition bear would look white, but they're. Yeah, it's not white like you'd see a polar bear white. That's a different kind of white, but they seem white because everything around them is not white, and so they look very white in contrast to their environment. But yeah, there's been a few kind of around the on Instagram and LinkedIn recently. There must be one up near Banff that's kind of making its rounds. But it's,
Yeah, so in Kananaskis.
Yeah.
They love that area.
yeah,
Yeah, so that's what
yeah.
I do as well.
How did we get on bears? Oh, man.
I know, that's what I mean.
Okay, what's your favorite hike? You like hiking? Where's your favorite hike?
I think my favorite hike, I didn't hike yet.
This is like travel journal now.
It's
Okay.
yeah, it's more. I hike now more for like a fitness for me.
Okay.
You can understand.
Yeah.
So it's fitness, outdoor fitness. So
Yeah.
it's some leg day.
Yeah.
When I need
So
leg
favorite
day.
hike? Where's your favorite hike for leg day?
I would not say favorite. I would say something that would be for me practical.
Okay.
Now, so I would go somewhere where it's close,
Yeah.
or I can do half day. Like I often go to Bonus to Imnuska because I can climb there and back, and it's like 45 minutes drive or so. If I have half a day or have other things to do. If to talk about further, I just kind of ask. Sometimes I drive, I look somewhere.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this should
I'll
be
give
good.
you a good hike if you want one.
Absolutely.
to take
want.
tips?
Yeah,
Okay.
I had a break from hiking after COVID, and it's hard to go back. So,
So here's a good one. So it's probably a full day, and you can do it there and back, but it's in Canada. It's actually in, I think it's in Peter Lougheed. So just you go into Kananaskis and then you're in Peter Lougheed, and it's called Ribbon Creek, Ribbon Falls, and Ribbon Lake. That's
it's
what
in
they're
my
called.
list, actually.
Yeah, and so the cool thing about that whole hike is, firstly, you go in, and Ribbon Falls is beautiful. It's not the biggest falls, it's not the most water, but it's just like tall and beautiful, and you're so close to it, and you're in the mist, and it's really kind of romantic. Then from there, you go up a very sheer rock face. It's probably like this. I'm looking in the camera. So there's chains bolted to the face of the rock, and so you use the chains to navigate up to the top. And then you get to the top, and there's it's a small lake, like, I don't know how many acres it would be, but only a handful of acres, and it's like a round lake. And you can go to the other side of it, and like literally we could have a conversation across the lake.
Wow.
It's shocking. It's so cool, and the sound just carries right across the lake. It's so beautiful. Yeah.
Okay, I go there this year.
Yeah. Here's a funny story too, that because you do it for fitness. There's a hike up in Jasper called the Skyline Trail, and it goes from Malign Lake to the Jasper town site. And so it's up over essentially a ridge, but you do actually cross over a few ridges along the way. And my plan was we're going to do this in I think we did it in 3 nights, 4 days. And so, but it maybe was only like 40, I think it's in memory serves as like 45 kilometers, something like that. So we're doing this, and had some friends, and we're sleeping overnight, and we're carrying these big backpacks, and we're just like dying, like we're going up, and we are hurting like really bad. We get to the end of the last day, and we're just about out, and there's this guy and this girl, and they're in like gym wear and short shorts and a fanny pack, and I was like, "What are you guys doing?" Yeah, we're gonna run it. We're gonna just run the whole thing today. And they were starting at noon. So for them, it was just like doing a marathon in the hike. But it was like they said they'd be out in like 5 or 6 hours.
Wow.
I was like, yeah, I'm never doing it again. But the Skyline Trail is another one that's just like, it's on the list of, of the top hikes in Canada. The Skyline would be on that list.
Oh, so I have to be in better shape for that.
It wasn't bad. Like if you overnight a couple nights, it's not bad.
Well, I usually go, I'm a solo hiker, so it will be weird. Bear will appreciate me there being solo for sure.
That's right, yeah.
So even if it's not much to eat, but just for fun.
Yeah. No, it's that's a nice hike, and if you ever overnighted, then it would be, and you wouldn't be alone. There's lots of people on that trail, as there is a lot of the really well-known trails. There's tons of people on the trails. So
yeah, like alone.
Yeah. But Lillian's really nice, or not Lillian, but Ribbon is really nice. That one's a really good one.
Thank you. No, that actually I heard about that hike. So it's, I have all trails up, and I have about, I believe, like maybe 40 hikes that I want to do. Yeah. So I better start to look at that list this year.
You got to start now so you can start plowing through the list. So
sure.
There's some really good ones, and then you could get into BC, and there's just
then I will never come back.
Yeah. Have you been to Yoho?
No, I don't
you're gonna have to go to Yoho.
No, I wasn't.
Dang. So Yoho has got I think it's the second tallest waterfall in Canada. Second tallest. And it's by Lake Louise. That's how close it is.
No, I wasn't there.
Yeah.
No, I wasn't.
Yeah, you got to see that. That one's a good one too.
There's so much I still didn't see here. Yeah. Because when you're you have to work all the time until you go to see something.
Yeah. Yep. There's no question. Yeah, it's tough. Just choose up time and money too. Like it's not cheap to do something.
Yeah, that's especially now. I mean, all plans move further.
Yeah, but it is nice. You think we're in Calgary, so everything is under 2 hours to get to most of this stuff. And even if you were in Edmonton, you're almost 3 hours to Jasper. Actually,
yeah, they usually go to Jasper. I when I have time and I don't feel like hiking or going somewhere very hard, I like to go to Canmore.
Yeah,
go there.
Absolutely.
It's kind of like my place where I get mountain feeling and the views, and at the same time, it's recharging me and those peaceful walks. Yeah. And you have nice hot tea somewhere and very cozy cafe or something. It's just had that vibe. Yeah. Banff, I used to love Banff, of course, who doesn't? But it's getting so busy for the past even 5 years, and I'm getting stressed there now more than relaxed.
I don't know if you knew, but the one of the City of Calgary things that's on the plate is to put a high-speed rail between Calgary and Banff. And so, a lot of people that come to Calgary are actually going to Banff. They're only landing in Calgary, but then they're going to Banff. And so it's been on the table for a number of years to put in a high-speed train to Banff. So I don't know if it's good or bad. It's probably not good for Calgary. It would be, and I don't even know if it's good for Banff, to be honest.
I believe it probably would be good because first of all, it would. Not many people would drive there. It's the biggest thing because even parking there, and I feel bad for people who lives in Banff. I mean, imagine I live there. It's supposed to be peaceful. Yeah, it's not. It's very busy. And now it's like cars everywhere, people everywhere. I mean, of course, it's tourist area, but still, there's local people who live there, and there's really so many cars. I even don't know how Banff can have it all.
Yeah, I think they were talking about doing I could be totally off track, but I think they were talking about having a pedestrians only time frame or something in Banff where they would make it so you had to walk. I don't know what.
But at the same time, how do we drive there? So I'm stressed not because I'm stressed because I cannot drive through Banff. And find parking anymore. So I do go to Banff for hot springs because there you definitely find parking on you know.
Yeah.
Or I hike that Sulphur Mountain.
Yes. Yeah.
And have nice lunch on top and buffet.
Yeah.
Like
Nice and
like
expensive.
yeah,
Yeah.
like fancy hike, I would say.
Yeah.
But hot springs, I love hot springs, so
Yeah.
I go usually to Banff, or if I'm not lazy to drive further, I go to Radium
Yeah.
when the road in winter.
Yeah.
not
There's
too
a
wintry.
I wonder if I'd be able to remember it. Like if you're into hot springs, there's actually like when I was a kid, my dad, I don't know, my mom and dad were super into hot springs and we would like take these weekend vacations and we'd go places. And there was this one hot spring. We'll have to look it up. But, it's going to hit me at some point. It's in BC and it's on the other side of a lake. So it's hard to get to. Oh, it's just like right on the tip of my tongue. But anyway, the cool part about it is that it's very, it's not like a pool. So it's not like, ceramic tiles and everything like that. They have a cave that you walk into. And it's really cool because you walk way into the cave and it's very, very neat. I can't remember the name of it suddenly.
I actually, when I drove through BC, like back roads,
Yeah.
I love back roads.
Yeah.
I Googled and I found there was wild hot springs.
Yeah.
somewhere.
Yeah.
Right? I didn't try it, but I drove by and it was super busy there,
Yeah.
of course. But I'm like, wow. It's just like white horses impressed me. Same, I'm like, oh my God, wild hot springs.
Yeah.
It's like mountain jacuzzi, you know?
Yeah. So this is kind of funny. Have you been to Fairmont?
Yeah.
Fairmont. So it's just basically you go south on 93.
I don't remember.
So you go into BC and then you kind of,
No, I don't
it's like
think
you
so.
just go south. So Fairmont is it's a well-known hot spring. It's kind of close to Panorama, and Radium it's the north end, and you just go from Radium south.
Oh, yeah. I know Fairmont, but I never was there.
So
Yeah.
here's the funny story. I've probably never told anyone this. So, and I'll embarrass my brother, but I won't say which brother. So we go to Fairmont, and Fairmont's got a really nice hot spring, which is a pool, and it's all like has a lane pool, diving tank, and a hot tub. And then it has some of the original buildings from when the hot springs were originally discovered. And they're just like piled up rock buildings with a roof. And, it's very, very basic. But there's like basically 3 rooms. And each one of those rooms has little more than a bathtub essentially kind of buried into the rock. And so my brothers and I were there one time and we went up to go see the original hot springs, which is kind of a fun thing to do as a tourist. And the way it played out was my brother was walking in front of me as we're walking up to this building. And so I'm watching him walking up, and then he turns and looks inside the building, and then he dead stops. And it's like, what's going on? Like I could tell there's something up. And so then I get up to where he's at, and there was a woman fully naked in there in the tub. She had no clue that someone was going to show up. And it was, I don't know, he was probably just a early teenager or maybe not a teenager, and he's getting this, whoa. It was pretty great.
I know in Europe they have some sort of spa where you're completely naked, but I never knew Canada had that.
Well, I don't think it's advertised that way. I think it was she just felt like she was alone and she could do whatever she wanted at that moment. But
you're never alone anymore in Canada.
No.
We have people everywhere.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, but it was probably a bad experience for one and a good experience for the other. So, but that's a neat one to go to, is to Fairmont. That's always been a family favorite, so.
I don't even know if I go anywhere this year now because so much things happening, so much work to do, and with volunteering, with my business, with life, my son. Yeah. I will be going somewhere for sure, but maybe I will.
Does your son go with you when you go places, or is he? He's 16 or something.
Yeah,
I think
he's 16. He just turned 16. He was going with me when I could take him when he was smaller. Yeah. Well, now he's like twice taller than me. It's hard to take him with me somewhere where he's not going to. Yeah. So he's like, he supports me from the distance. Right. He goes sometimes for a walk with me. He likes. Yeah. But hiking, I don't think he ever liked it as much as I did.
I think you had said, I was just looking at something you had posted, and I think we're talking about he's getting into acting and he wants to do some of that. So you've transferred some of that from you to him. So is that what he's doing?
It's interesting because he wasn't interested before.
Yeah.
When I moved to Canada, I did some modeling in Russia before, but here I got involved in 2016 in acting and modeling here.
Yeah.
I was part of the industry for a few years. I was on sets a few times on the movies, but my modeling career was more successful, and I was doing it professionally for a few years. And my son was around, of course.
Yeah.
He was small. I would take him with me, like on photo shoots.
Right.
And just about like a couple years ago, he was thinking what to do with his life too. At that age, he decided to think about it. And one day, I remember he came to me and he's like, "Mom, I want to be an actor. I want to try. I want to do acting." And for me, I'm like, when he says to me something, it means like next 10 minutes, he has it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, perfect. And I had some connections, so I started to look for courses because I don't want like, oh, you're cute, you're nice looking, and you know this and that, and let's do this. No, I don't like that. And he too. We decided to go through the whole process. So it's professional lessons with acting coach for a long time. So he would attend some classes. He would do Shakespeare on stage, and all those
good for him.
hard stuff.
Yeah.
I was so impressed. And one of my friends, he's amazing, a film director. His name is Neil, and he was doing offering a 1-year core program, acting program. It was mentorship as well. There was one-on-one and group lessons, so it was perfect for the whole year.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is the chance. So, and the whole year, last year, Gleb was in that program, so he ended up having a role in the movie, short film they were doing, psychological thriller.
Wow,
and he had lead roles there. It's coming out this year.
That's awesome.
And then he got interested in filmmaking, actually. He's really good in acting. I was impressed. Even me, like, I'm mom, but I'm not the type of mom. I don't give a shit. Like, if you're not talented, out. Even if you're my son, I mean, I'm Russian, we do that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I was like supporting him no matter what, because I saw that talent in him.
There's
and
a
not
spark.
just talent, it's also, he was dedicated to this. He was committed to that.
Right.
Like he dedicated himself and his time to learn that, not just dream about this. It's a big difference because lots of people dreamers.
Yeah.
I was guilty in this too.
Yeah.
You just dream about something. But another thing, when you do something, to get it. And he did. Yeah. And now he's interested in filmmaking. So he's writing his script now for his short film he wants to direct.
Wow,
this time,
very cool.
At the age of 16, so we will be looking for grants.
Wow.
We're hoping to start this maybe summer, autumn,
that's
beginning
awesome.
next year, something in this time frame. And so he's spending a lot of time writing. He knows, it's amazing. I don't know how it happened and when that he knows so much, he learns so much on his own. Yeah. And he also very good in school. He's in high school, so he just got certificate of like honor or something. Like he's on a wall in school as one of the best students, which I have. That's not me for sure.
Yeah,
that's for sure not from me. This didn't come from.
Came from somewhere.
No. It's him.
That's
and
awesome.
I was like, I don't even since grade, I believe 6 or even 5. I have no idea what he's doing in school. I have no idea. I go for that interviews with teachers just to see who it is once a year, twice, and see if everything okay or not. If not okay in something, I fix it for sure. So if there is some issues, or anything else, I do it right away.
Yeah.
But if to talk about his studying, his academic, no, it's on him. I said, it's your job, it's your responsibility, it's not me. I have no idea what you're doing. I cannot help you with homework. I'm not from this country.
Yeah.
I don't know what you guys
You
doing
could know
here.
math. It's the same.
I will not talk about me and math.
Yeah.
I will ride horses. Of course, I can do math, but I mean, not
Yeah.
in high school, and it's tricky, and program is different. And most of time, I have no idea what they're talking about in those books. I'm like, what they want?
Yeah, I'm the same way. I have a daughter in grade 12, and it's like, she comes up to me, okay, I need some help with this problem. And it's like, come on. Like, I don't have nothing. I have nothing to help you.
Well,
Yeah,
when he's missing something, doesn't understand, I'm like, go to teacher. Well,
Yeah,
that's why they're
absolutely.
there.
That's-
Or I get him tutor.
Yeah.
But I can't spend hour for trying to understand something that I cannot understand.
Yeah.
I just even don't understand what those words mean,
Yeah.
even if I translate. I mean, you have to put it on. No, I'm like, no. I can, here is your tutor. You ask them questions. I help you my way.
Yeah.
If I can do something, of course I do. But I mean, math.
Yeah.
No, you have calculator.
Proud mom. I like it. That's good.
I'm
I
easy.
see the switch got flipped as soon as you started talking about your kids.
Oh yeah, he's like no. About him, I smile more than when I
like
talk
it.
about bears.
Yeah.
For sure.
Wow. Well, if you ever meet a bear, you probably won't be smiling. Just saying.
Or smiling, it's all I can do there.
Yeah, I guess.
Nothing
As you're
else.
going down, the big smile.
The only thing I know, don't run.
Yeah. So I can't believe there's another bear thing to tell you. If you ever get a chance to go for a bit of a longer drive, and you go down to Yellowstone, just out in West Yellowstone, which is one of the entrances, there's a facility /zoo/ thing, and it's a bear and wolf habitat. And your kid's too old, but they put the bears into essentially a cage, let's call it that for now. Then they let the kids go into the enclosure and hide food, and then they pulled all the kids out, hopefully all of them, and then they let the bears back out, and the bears just go nuts trying to find this food, and the kids go crazy because they found my lettuce or the cabbage that I put there. It's really fun. So that's really cool to see if you love bears. So
I love bears, but I don't love them in cage.
yeah. Well, these bears are bears that there's a reason that they're there. Maybe they became habituated to humans,
Or they're rescued.
Something happened. They got hurt.
I understand for that
So
reason.
but
But
and they wouldn't survive in the wild.
yeah,
So
no,
that's,
there is. I know that.
Yeah.
It's just like I still have hard time to see
Yeah.
them somewhere.
Yeah. Of course.
even if I know the reasons,
Yeah.
fair reason, I know.
Yeah.
But it's like it's another conversation.
Yeah.
me with
Yeah.
with animals in a cage.
Yeah. So, food.
Yeah,
Okay. So
food.
we had talked about off camera. We were talking about food before too, and so you have a certain passion for agriculture, for food, for eating properly, and maybe even further, you have an appreciation for where the food comes from, ethics of production, and some of that. So maybe I'm kind of curious about the journey that got you from early to here, and now you're working on a business to kind of funnel some of that passion into a business now. So what's going on? Tell us the whole thing.
Well, it started. Everything started with my childhood, of course,
Yeah.
because my family, we lived in the city, but we always had land, and
Okay.
I used to work with the land and grow vegetables, like everything you can see in grocery stores. I know how to grow. I did it before since I was about 4 or 5 years old. It was kind of like we eat it. It's not just like a hobby or something,
Yeah.
right? We grow to eat, to survive, to just, it's normal for us. And so I used to that. It's not like I always loved doing this. Of course, as a kid, I hated going there.
Yeah.
But I'm happy I did. Because I always loved nature. I always loved living like on a farm or ranch or something like
Yeah.
that. I love cities, but if to talk about where you belong, I would love to live somewhere in the middle of nowhere. Not far from a city,
Yeah.
just
You can
middle
still
of
get
nowhere.
somewhere.
Yeah, a couple hours to drive
Yeah.
and I'm in civilization again. So long story short, yeah, so with that background, I always was familiar with the food. And the big thing, I knew from early age how real food tastes and smells,
Right.
and its true colors.
Yeah.
So it's good on one hand. On another hand, it's limiting you after, because you can't just buy and eat any food anymore, because this tastes like plastic. This tastes like I call it. It tastes like napkin. So that's
Nice.
what it tastes like napkin nowadays. Many like fruits and veggies. It reminds me that it tastes like nothing. Like you're chewing in
Really?
air.
Yeah.
And so when I moved to Canada, I had opportunity to work and be involved in like kind of farming in a tree farm. So I worked for over 5 years in agriculture sector here with the trees, with the farmers. So it's kind of was funny, because it was at the same time I was doing modeling professionally here. So it was,
Yeah.
I was like on the field, like I didn't work on the field like guys, right?
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
manager. I was first sales and customer service specialist, and then I was a manager. And but still, I was in the field. I was
Sure.
with clients. I was on job sites, and
Yeah.
and so it could be in one day I would wear, during the day I would wear like whatever, my rubber boots or my cowboy boots or just boots,
Yeah,
any
yeah.
boots, with jeans, like, my cap and, like vest. And in the same day, let's say, I would have a red carpet event, and I would like transform into like I never was in the field like
Yeah,
2 hours
yeah.
before. Like my nails done, my hair, my makeup, like long dress, high heels, I'm on red
Yeah.
carpets, like just meeting people, photographers.
Yeah.
So it's kind of, I like to balance that. So I work for quite a while in that sector. And just about a year ago, I had a longtime friend, and he reached out to me. He was thinking, I think in Victoria, he said that time, and the idea came to him, like he would question himself, like where he was eating something, I believe, and he was like, where that food comes from, like where do we, like, who grows that food, like
Yeah.
how it all works, like how to get the food directly, how, and he also wasn't happy with food that, not with all food we have nowadays in big stores, I would say.
Yeah.
So he started to think about this more, and then he reached out to me. He with this idea of building the web application where we will be able to connect local food and beverage producers with consumers directly.
Right.
We cut out middlemen.
Right.
So we are not middlemen ourselves, our company. We connect them.
Yeah. So the app's the connection between it.
It's
Yeah.
more like we're not reselling their food. We're not buying from them and resell. We do not
Right.
do delivery. We do not interrupt their process that's already existing. Our idea is to make that process more smooth and fully transparent.
Right.
That's the main idea. And let's say like you're a fitness trainer and fitness guru.
Some days. Yeah.
So people like you, people like anyone who appreciate healthy food, who cares where that food come from, how that food was stored before, how many times that meat was frozen before.
Yeah.
It's a good question too.
Yeah.
And also who those people are, because they're like ghosts.
Yeah.
We don't know that. They work hard every day from 5 a.m. till 10 p.m. most of the year. They're very few times only being appreciated during a year.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. And and they don't even make much money themselves, because a big corporation buying their food, or even other stores buying their food, and they resell it for crazy prices. They don't like, it's not farmers pricing, right?
Yeah.
And I talked to one of the farmers last year, and she's a beef producer, and she's north of Calgary, and she told me that they're making sausages and other meat, and they sell it to local store in one of the towns there. And she said she went to that store one day and saw her sausages price.
Oh, wow.
And she was like, oh my God, I don't want people who buy my sausage for that price. It's not like it's too much.
Yeah.
I want they could afford it, like, you know.
Wow.
But store at the same time also have to make money. Like, it's, you know, right. I can't say they're wrong. Yeah. Maybe they're greedy, yes, but they all parties involved have to have money. So our idea was to provide that safe space and place for farmers and consumers where they can do business together, clear business, like fair business, like transparent.
Right.
Where and locally. Locally doesn't mean only here. Yeah. It's Canada-wide. Right. But it's locally. It's kind of like wherever you go, you're local. You can find farmer anywhere. You drive to BC for a, let's say, summer trip, road trip. You open up, and on the map, you can see any food producer on your way. Nice. And you can visit them. Yeah. An idea also to bring people out who wants to. Their farmers provide delivers, so of course it can be pickup location or it can be delivered to their doors, depending on what type of delivery service. Yeah. Each farmer will provide, but some you can pick up from the farm, which is great because you can grab your kids in summer or whatever, even in winter. The roads sometimes are good too. So, and you drive there instead of watching TV, instead of like doing stupid stuff. You grab your kids, you go there, you just visit, just pick up food. But look who made the food for you. Look at that farmer. Look where that cow you bought, where that cow lived before, what grass they eat. I mean, I always make a joke like, some people maybe want to know the name of the cow they're eating. I don't know. Maybe there's people like this too. So who knows, right? Yeah,
you're gonna buy a bunch of T-bone steaks, and it's gonna say Sally T-bone steak.
Yeah, it's my favorite black humor, but I do that sometimes too. Yeah. So like Sally, whatever, 5 years old, 3 years old. But in general, so we want to put faces behind the product. We want to have fair pricing. We want to have healthy food delivered to each door. We want people would know the taste of the food. We want support local businesses. We want support local economy. We want to the more farmers would sell and grow, the more workers they would need to hire. Right. So it's kind of to grow many parts of life of everyone. So farmers can grow their business. People can find maybe those jobs on the farm because they have to expand and hire more people if they have more sales, of course, too, right? On another hand, consumers. We also do things for businesses as well, like hospitality businesses. They can find their farmers who will deliver their fresh meat. Yeah. Weekly, fresh vegetables. They can do wholesale orders as well there, customized, and they can have few farmers, and they guarantee will have Alberta beef, or veggies, same like tomatoes, lettuce, garlic, like everything. Yeah, that's so very cool. We just give options. People, we don't want to replace anything. We don't want to say, oh, don't buy here. No, it's not our goal. Our goal, we just want to give another option and see maybe that option will be great for them, because some people don't know it even exists. Yeah, I talk to some people, especially from the city, and when I talk about my business, I hear a lot that they say, "Oh, I always wanted and was thinking how to do it, but I didn't know how. I didn't know where I find farmers, where I find that information. Even you have to Google it." Right now, you have to Google, or you have to use other apps, but they are resellers. It's not bad; they're just resellers, and they work only with few farmers they have contract with. Yeah, they provide their specific food and they resell, they deliver like Spot that. And our idea is to make everyone equal. Let's say you're seasonal farmer. Let's say you want to be farmer for 1 year. Where is your market? How are you going to reach out your consumers? So before somebody will know you, your season is over.
Right.
So this platform allows you, even if you're new, to register store, to fill out that store with product.
Yeah.
Decide if you deliver, people will pick up. 5 minutes. That's it.
Right.
You're on the market. So you sold out. You make your store inactive. 1 click.
Right.
Wait till next row of your whatever lettuce will grow and you will be back on the market. Like, it's so flexible. It's marketplace for food, but it's more like hybrid platform. We put there so many features. Like, my business partner is genius. Like, he put there so much really useful features for people. It's on consumer side, yes, it's easy to find anything you want for any needs you want, any quantity you want. For vendors, for farmers and other food vendors, there is so much there. There is statistical on data.
Yeah.
They will have data that they didn't collect before. It's gender of their consumers, their ages, like everything. They will have every single information about their product that was sold like 5 years ago or last month, like everything. It will help them to market their products better in the future as well, to analyze that. Also, all paperwork, like invoicing, everything done. They will have all notification, everything super automated, super easy to use, and with some features of CRM as well. Like, and we're going to build even more. There is live chat, so you can talk to your farmer wherever you got lost on the road. You can always connect to them.
Is, in a way, I guess, the farmer's market environment has an element of this too, where you're, in theory at least, talking to a farmer. And maybe not. Maybe you're talking to someone who went to the farmer and got the food and then put it to the farmer's market or something. But there's an element of that. This takes it online and makes it alive. And
yes, it is like a farmer's market. The only thing here is, yes, there's more feature, and it's year-round. Farmers market, they're seasoned, right? Yeah. And actually, I saw journalist in one of the journalists on YouTube. I saw one of the journalists posted a few years ago here in Canada. I believe it was Ontario. I don't remember. I saw it last year. I forgot. Anyway, so the thing was, the journalist went to farmers market to see who is real farmers there.
Right.
And, of course, most of them were real farmers, but they found one who wasn't. So what happened, they found out, they did their, thing to find out the truth, as journalists do. So the thing was, that person bought berries, I believe it was blackberry, one of the big market stores like Walmart or somewhere for, like, let's say for $3.99. Rented table in farmers markets like $30 a month. Oh, sorry, $30 a day. Yeah. And put it all there and sold it like for $8.99. And this, what's important when
we gotta applaud someone who has that moxie. That's
what, and it's happened here. So
sure.
That's, of course, it's bad, but that's what I was talking about at the beginning. Not all people. And it's not their fault, but not all people know the taste, the organic taste of food. Like, not even, and it's so commercial word now, organic. So, but I mean, real, like something that you grow, you know the taste. Like when I tried cucumbers here when I moved here, and they're okay, cucumbers here, everyone. I eat them now too. But when you grow cucumber, first of all, they have smell. They smell really nice. Like they smell too. They don't smell from store, but they smell. And the taste, it's more juicy and sweeter. You know, it's hard to explain.
When it's fresh?
When it's from the garden, of course. When it's not when no chemicals used or any sort of helping to grow things.
Yeah.
You know. I try to be polite. Anyway, so and what do you do? Sometimes even I'm confused. Like I go to organic store and still I don't understand where the food come from. Like, is it organic? How do I know?
Yeah.
It's cost because like twice more than not organic. And another thing I'm discussed with the modern world now, because like seriously, why not all food is organic? What does it even mean, organic food? Like I go to any store and I'm like, here is not organic food and this is organic food, and organic freaking food looks the same. It's just like $100 more.
Yeah.
And here the thing, because we're humans, we live like, we deserve to have good fucking food, you know? We have to have, it's our birthright to eat healthy food. And why or we can't afford it, or when we can, it's still not healthy enough.
Yeah.
You know, of course, farmers can use some chemicals. Like we cannot check everyone, of course, but there is some regulation. There's some, at least you can go there and look and see or pick, or you have options.
Yeah.
And it's local. Of course, when you have garlic from like country, from another side of the ocean, and here garlic south of Calgary on the farm. I know that. I saw it.
Is it like in a greenhouse? That's how it's grown?
Yeah. Oh, garlic grows. You don't even need greenhouse.
Really?
It grows when it's colder even. Like because it's underground, and you put all that. How you say it in English, like warm stuff on top.
Mulch.
Like, mulch. Yeah. Sorry, thank you, I forgot. Well, I work in farming, of course, I forgot the word. Yeah, you put mulch. Like, I'm from Siberia. We had garden in Siberia my whole life.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have there 4 seasons. Here we have like 2.5. Anyway, you can't. It's still temperature similar, and there is lots of like radish, and what else? Onion, garlic. There is even lettuce. It can grow like wheat here.
Huh.
And lettuce like $4.
Yeah, or more. Yeah, it's crazy. Actually.
Deal.
Yeah.
Deal. That's my favorite story about dill.
Yeah.
Dill, it's a weed. Well, not a real one, but it grows like weed, we say.
Yeah.
Because dill is something like the wind will blow, seeds will fall, and it will grow. You need nothing for it.
And it's
like
everywhere, really.
It will grow like just something in the forest. Like you don't need to take care of it. You don't need to water it. You don't need to put the fertilizer and babysit it. It's growing wild. You can sometimes it grows so much, you just throw it and in the garbage or compost. Like you just don't. It just go. It's just like everywhere. That's what we do here. It costs so much deal, like $3. Deal.
And it's just like a weed almost.
It's growing like you need nothing. Wow. You can blink with your eyes and it will be growing. Wow. That's how it grows. And that's here, crazy. It's sold for $3, like this much.
Yeah.
Imagine how it's like an insult to society, you know? I go to a store and every time I feel like I'm insulted. I know it's hard work. I know like I understand stuff. I know what I'm talking about. But at the same time, there is common sense.
Yeah.
And okay, you can grow here banana, I understand. But banana is cheaper than dill. How this works?
And it's way heavier.
How this works? Banana, even organic. Cheaper than dill? What's wrong with this world?
Wow. So we should all start growing some dill?
You can grow anything. You can grow anything. To be honest, you can grow anything.
Yeah.
Yes, most of people have backyards.
Yeah.
And some people do have
You can
little
grow
things. Yeah, like cherry tomatoes, you can put it in a pot on a balcony. Cucumber, you don't need like big, $4 for English cucumber. I'm like, I go to the store and I'm like, your long.
I like the passion. It's pretty funny.
It's just like it's like I literally talking to myself in grocery stores.
Yeah.
It's weird. I'm like, I look.
Who's the crazy lady over there?
I know. It's like I look at those long English cucumber for like $4, whatever they cost, $3.99, and I'm like, your long English cucumber is not long enough for that price,
Really? Yeah.
Because it's like, anyway, I want to complain.
Wow.
I don't complain. I just like people have to have options. People have to know how food grows. Because I met people here who didn't know how potato grows. They thought it's probably potato tree. And potato always have
Hold on a second. What?
I know.
It's not on a tree?
No. No, because we
might be wrong.
see it always here, it's clean.
Yeah.
But it's not their fault. It's just like school doesn't teach it much.
Yeah.
And not many people have gardens here.
Yeah.
Really do, and they don't need to have gardens here.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have to have it. But it's just the way how it's all super packed, super clean, super ready, super perfect. I attended agriculture conference for women in agriculture in Toronto in November. There was people from government from Ottawa, and we were talking about safety food, about regulation, new policy for this year. And it was interesting how much wasted food we have. Mm-hmm. And it's a different topic to talk to. It's a ton of food that could feed people who is hungry, throwing away.
Well, you know what? I've always thought that was an interesting topic because that means I'm buying more than I need. Like, why am I buying so much more? It's so expensive.
Yes.
So, like, why would... And, like, I'll be dead honest. We throw out cucumbers at home because we just don't eat them. I'll bring them over. But, we do. Like, I've seen, out of a package of 4, we might throw out 2 occasionally. But why am I buying more cucumbers than we'd ever consume before they go bad? It seems weird to me that we do it.
It's it's also marketing because let's say you need 2 cucumber.
Yeah.
They cost $3.99, but today they're $1.99.
Yeah.
Will you buy 2 or 4?
Yeah. I don't know.
You know what I mean? So you will buy 4. I know that.
And then throw out 2.
Because it's just how humans' brain works, and all marketing and merchandising and they know it. There is psychologists working for them.
Yeah.
It's colors, shapes. So on that conference we were talking about, and there was farmers sitting, and we had a round table, those farmers. There was farmer who grows carrots, and they were complaining because they have machines to do all the big stuff like cutting and I learned a lot too, by the way, because I didn't know many details. And so government, their departments, they have policy about how perfect carrots should be and look.
There's actual policy.
You can't go longer than this. It has to have perfect shape. 1 minute. It's growing in the nature.
Yeah.
And I grew a ton of carrots my whole life. It's easy to...
Don't you have a picture online of you holding a carrot? Yeah, that's pretty funny.
So that actually, carrots, it's easy to grow too. And they you need to take care of them, of course, but they're pretty hardy. So it's easy to grow. But they grow in funny shapes sometimes.
Sure.
But you still can eat it. Like it's
still
food.
carrot.
It's still food.
Yeah.
But to sell it more expensive, to make it all look beautiful in those perfect plastic package and stuff like that, and look good on your store. So people. So there is regulation for how beautiful carrots should be, what size should be, what color, how straight it should be.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm like, so they have to throw, it's wasted out of, let's say, I don't remember, unfortunately, I didn't take my list, but I don't remember exactly, but let's say it's quite a big percent because nature can grow perfect shaped carrot. They has to waste.
Wow.
So, and instead of, and I'm like, why? And on our platform, as an example, they don't have to do it. We solve that problem easy because that carrot can still be sold to people like me who doesn't care if it's freaking beautiful or not, because it's going to be in my stomach destroyed anyway.
Yeah, or in a soup or whatever.
I mean, I will eat it.
Yeah.
So it will not be beautiful there anyway in the end.
Yeah.
So, and our platform will solve that problem. So for two people, first, we reduce food waste.
Yeah.
In the future. So it means farmers can still make money on that not beautiful, ugly carrots.
Right.
It can be brand ugly carrot. I should start that. I should start selling only ugly carrots.
Yep.
Some of them.
Uglycarrot.com.
Yeah, ugly carrot. That's a really good idea. So yeah, I just need to buy a farm. So I would sell, like, let's say, farmers can sell those ugly carrots.
Yeah.
If they want, they can reduce price because it's not beautiful.
Sure.
But there will be people with low income or just people who doesn't care how beautiful it is, and they will buy. So it's kind of win-win situation.
Yeah.
So it's just one of the examples.
Huh. Maybe ugly sheep.
Ugly cucumber.
That's an ugly cow.
Ugly. No, but I'm serious. And some actually potato too. Ugly potato.
Yeah.
For potatoes, the same like for carrots. It's all the same because potato. I remember I would dig a ton of potatoes in my whole life. We would plant it and dig. It's oh my god. My hands still remember how dirty it can be.
Potatoes are interesting to me because they're like a lot of, like, obviously if you bake a potato or if you're going to make fries, there are certain requirements too. Like it can't be a figure eight. You can't make a fry out of that. But the cost of potatoes has skyrocketed at the stores now. And it's just, like, I would have thought potatoes are a staple. And even when I was in economics, we studied how, the purchasing of potatoes caused like an economic ups and downs that were just complicated. But how are potatoes expensive? Like,
it's interesting,
fuel cost? I don't know what's driving the cost.
Greed driving the cost. Yeah. Well, of course, there's many, I'd never heard that increase in labor, like paychecks would be increased. I'm okay with that. Yeah. But it's not, right? People get paid the same like they were 5 years ago, let's say, or whatever, last year or 2 years ago. But prices still going up. Why? Okay. Yeah. Okay, there is gas, there is inflation, and greed of corporations, obviously.
I'll give you a crazy one to chew on for a minute. If you were to go buy chicken at just a chicken breast, what would chicken be per pound, roughly, at the store? This is a
right
test.
now?
Yeah. What would you pay for it? What's normal?
Oh, a chicken breast. It's actually one of my personal pain.
Yeah.
It's my personal loss because I love chicken breast. I eat, and my cat too. We both love it. My son eat meat too, but my cat, it's his favorite. So I monitoring pricing for chicken breast for quite a while, and I cry every time I go to the grocery store, and every time I have more and more tears because it's more and more expensive.
So if we went to Safeway or Superstore today, how much?
Yesterday I bought. Actually, it was just I'm very bad with pounds, but there was 430.
So that's a pound.
Something.
400 grams.
Yeah.
So
okay, so there was 2 breasts.
Yeah.
And it was something like $15.
Wow.
I know, right?
So normally you can buy chicken for like $7 to $8, and it's on sale. Like 7 to 8 is
like 1 kilogram will be like $35.
£2 for 35?
35, 38. It's
That
crazy.
sounds like a lot.
It's crazy.
'Cause that sounds like steak.
Exactly. And this is like deal. Chicken like
Yeah.
deal just in animal world because we had chickens too, my family. So you don't need much to grow chicken
Yeah,
as
yeah,
well,
no.
to be honest.
They'll eat anything.
And they eat anything. Okay,
Yeah.
you need like some good food because it's for
Yeah.
audience, so let's
Yeah.
say, for market. Okay, you feed them. But it's chicken.
Yeah.
You don't need to. It's not like a cow. It's like you need nothing to do with chicken. Chicken, like I said, it's like growing deal. You don't need much work with that. Of course, I don't know all the details, but from my little farmer perspective, it's still not that much work to do. To take care of chicken, to sell it. And it's absolutely unfair. Out of all meat product, the chicken breast that's supposed to be way cheaper is one of the most expensive at the market right now. But I know also, not know, but I may guess why. With all that healthy lifestyle, people, of course, it's very, very in high demand, chicken breast for years. It's one of the main source of protein. Because not everyone eat red meat, but everyone almost eat chicken.
Yeah, I barely ever eat red meat now, just because the cost. Actually, it's
yeah,
more
but
the cost
chicken's
than
not
anything.
better now. So I'm like,
it's
I'm looking like,
expensive.
what do I eat? Beans?
Yeah. Well, you know what's one point I was going to make, which is interesting, is that chicken. You know, if you look at the per pound cost of it, and then this is shocking. Like if you look at chicken, that's kind of just a good price. Like it's maybe, let's say it were $7 to $8 a pound, and then you go and look at the price of Cheerios or like a boxed cereal. It's more expensive per pound than chicken. Yes. How is that possible? It's oats and like,
I know. And there's sugar and not the
crazy.
healthiest stuff.
Like to go to the grocery store and see a box of cereal for $10, a box of cereal, which is maybe, I don't know how many actual servings it is, but it's not many. Like that's ridiculous. That's
so
happening,
what's your diet now? How as a fitness guru, how do you fix this
right now
for yourself?
But most of what I would eat would be chicken, a lot of rice. I do eat like box cereals though too. Like if it's, I don't eat a lot of the sugary stuff, but yeah, I'll eat box cereals though too, and then oatmeal and vegetables. You know, like I'm not a huge vegetable fan. I actually have to like work to eat a vegetable, so it's not my favorite, but I do eat them, of course. And
for me, vegetables is every day. That's why I'm struggling.
First on the plate, yeah.
Every day for me, every meal is with vegetables.
Yeah.
Every meal. Well, not breakfast. Maybe it depends what type of breakfast I eat. But lunch, dinner, always vegetables. I can't just eat anything without vegetables. It's just for me. I can eat vegetables without everything, but not. Opposite.
Wow.
That's why I'm always looking for tomatoes, cucumbers, lettuce. I'm like a rabbit. I can eat lettuce just raw.
Yeah.
I just take it and just eat with my meal, just like rabbits do. I love it. I don't know. I don't need oil. I don't need salt or fancy cheeses in it. I mean, I can, but why?
Do you find though that lettuce is one of those things where there's, you know, if it's locally grown or if you grew it, that it would have a certain flavor, and then when you buy it at the store, it's just like bland, like that's the Kleenex.
Yeah. You know, it's interesting. I did do grocery shopping yesterday. Not the big one, the small stuff. And lettuce was on my list because I finished. And I went, I was Co-op or something. So Co-op was better. But I went before that, I don't remember which store, Safeway. They were all the same now for me. Anyway, I went to, it's not even taste, but it's even look.
Really?
First. Because I look, and it's nothing about being organic or not. It's even about how they storage or how long they're there or something. Because I call it tired lettuce.
Yeah.
They look tired.
Yeah.
You know, you go and they're like there under, like in the kind of fridge with there's little like spray water and try to keep them alive, and they're still not alive. You know, I call it like, and I say, I said this is such a very tired lettuce right here. So I don't buy because you are eating. It's like, paper.
Yeah.
You know, not like paper. It's like very soft paper.
Right. It doesn't have that crunch
Like
to it.
fabric something. And it's very sad lettuce. It looks very sad, very tired, very sad, you know. And I'm like, no. And it costs like it's healthy and full of golden sparkles around. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
So I sometimes I have to drive to few stores to find something that before taste good, at least look alive.
Yeah.
You know.
So do you shop like every couple days, or like how often are you shopping?
Not with prices like that anymore.
Yeah.
I tried. Well, I'm more practical now more than before. I like food. I like healthy food. I always eat healthy. I'm leading a healthy life for a long time, so I do groceries. The main thing, like pasta, like potato, something. It's for a long time. I buy for a long time, but I do fresh, some fruits and fresh veggies. I need like a few times a week because they're tired.
Yeah.
So I go. I still don't know where exactly I find something. So I don't. There is not one store I would go for something.
Yeah.
This or that. You never know anymore.
Yeah.
Sometimes you go to big grocery store, fancy one, I don't know, Costco or something, and there is still something that doesn't look right.
Yeah.
You know?
It always amazed me that some of the food, and like bananas are probably an interesting one where they're coming, they put on some mileage before they get on the shelf.
Yes.
Like most of them are, you know, if they're made Caribbean, Mexico, wherever, but yeah, it's pretty shocking that they make it that far.
And that's what's interesting, and that's why, of course, I don't know the system perfectly and well enough. I understand, but at the same time, it's just common sense in me doesn't let me rest. We have cheaper product from outside, and our own cost twice more. I don't talk about banana. Well, we didn't
we
try.
Can't grow a banana,
we didn't try. Maybe we can. I'm kidding, but. I'm talking about
small.
I'm talking about something. It's not. It's something wrong with the system first, from the very beginning. So, and of course, there is not enough interested people to look into this closely to find the problem because somebody's making money there.
Yeah, there's an interesting book you'd probably, you maybe have read it. It's called The Omnivore's Dilemma. And you would probably eat it up. It's so good, that book, and it covers basically food production, and it talks a lot about government subsidies and how where there's corruption in so far as, you know, if a subsidy causes a behavior in society that isn't really what the goal is. And they have this long discussion about corn production and how we produce way more corn than we can even eat, and farmers are motivated to produce corn that no one's going to eat, and it just sits in huge piles, and it's just like some of the stuff, it's amazing. You'd love that book. So we'll...
They produce a lot, but it all goes somewhere else.
Yeah, it could, and then some of it would just go to feeding animals even, like you just feed cows.
No, there is lots of like we sell a lot outside, right? So it's actually, that's why we don't have anything for ourselves for that price.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
We're motivated to ship it out and then bring in food from other countries.
Yes. And it's we also have to be careful, of course, because not all food will be good for us, because we from different climate, we're from, you know, different race and this and that. So people don't include it anymore as well. Of course we want exotic. It's good to try. It's normal. But we still have to be focused on what we can grow inside of our country here, how we can serve people with the right food, because yes, it's all complicated and everyone have their own opinion. That's why we build this platform as an option, another way for people who cares. I would say cares not just about themselves and what they eat, which is very important. It has to be number one for sure, but also make their understanding about the food system wider. Where the beginning of it, right? Like I said, who those people are. Because for me personally, very important to make those farmers visible, to make them real, to prove they exist.
Yeah.
I don't say people don't know they exist. Of course they do, but in meaning that somebody could say thank you to them into their face, or write it on the platform like ours, or somewhere else. Like, find a way. I visited many farmers market last summer. There's a ton of people there, of course, but it's still not enough people know.
Right.
Not enough people know. I talked to a guy in Toronto. They're waiting our platform there in Ontario when we get there. And he said to me, interesting story, that he drove like whatever 2 hours from one side of Toronto to another to farmers market last summer. And he said, I drove there like so long to find out that farmers market has kiwis and bananas. It's not farmers market anymore. Yeah. And you can tell it's transforming. It's again losing that that meaning, losing that idea, that original idea of farmers market, it's happened so, I would say, not like a sneaky way, but so invisibly smooth, like you don't even notice. Just one day you come and there's like, I don't know, something else they added that not supposed to be there, and something else they added not supposed to be there, and you're buying anyway. Yeah. Because you're already there. Yeah. And you also need it.
Locally sourced Brazilian nuts.
I know,
really.
Right? So no, we want to support local, not just farmers, but other food producers. People who make desserts, people who makes beverages locally here in Canada. I mean, people, maybe it doesn't even have to be like only Canadian food. It can be people from India, or people, something traditional. If they make it, they cook, they can sell it there as well. So it's more supporting people, people who produce food, and supporting people who's looking for fresh, organic, locally grown, locally made food from real people.
I have a friend who farms trout, and they would probably love to be on the platform.
Oh, we're actually looking for farmers and vendors right now. Yeah. Our platform fully ready, it's published. We're now actively looking for first 50 vendors. We have already some. And of course, we're looking for more to test it more. And there is already real transactions. There is already everything published and ready to go. So we're on our next step now to move to the market.
That's awesome.
So any support we appreciate. If you or some of your friends know somebody who would like to be part of our program, we give as a first early adopters, we will provide very nice benefits to be part of our platform. So for sure we support people and appreciate people who trust us in this way.
That's awesome. Pretty exciting. So, well, listen, I've kept you a long time, so probably a lot longer than you don't know how long this is, but you've been here a while, so I won't keep you all day, so you can go do all the other good stuff that you got to do. So, but what a pleasure to meet you, and hopefully we can get back together again, and I'll connect you up with some of these people that I know. That'd be really cool.
Well, thank you so much for having me.
My pleasure.
Enjoy our time. Time flew so fast. I will talk to you. Look, I even didn't know. I was wondering how time is it. I'm like, probably not that much. We just started. Well, bears took lots of time.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
Thank you so much. I appreciate awesome. Your invitation, and I was happy to share my story, and hope to see you again soon.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for coming. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. Bye for now.